see if this one works. Okay. I'm going to log in. See if I can check myself. All right, check 1, 2, check. Oh, yeah. You guys hear me out there? Check 1, 2, check 1, 2. I don't hear anything. I've got it on a monitor right now, too. Oh, yeah, I can hear myself now. So I've got, I'm having more problems with my internet. I've had Comcast out now 3 times. And this time they're saying that it's an amplifier. It's not on my line. Now, supposedly they fixed it today. My internet was down this morning, and it's back on again. So I don't know. If I drop again, we'll know. What's happening on my end is I try to do a live. I try to get on anything that uses like anything like Bookmap, Zoom calls, anything video related, and my signal dumps. It like I want to say it taps, like tap tap tap, and then it just drops. So I'm having problems with my internet now. They're saying at this point that it was something further down the line. It was called an amplifier. I don't know what an amplifier is. I don't know what it means. Yeah, I'm pretty fucking pissed. So whatever. All right. So yeah, and here's the worst part. Here's the worst part. Okay. So my internet's back on, and we have a giant storm coming with like possibly 16 inches and high winds. So I could be down for the rest of the week. And I'll tell you this, the last time that I lost power here was this summer. Sometime in August I was posting, and then I stopped, of course. I lost power for like 8 days. So just be aware of that. If I lose you today, I shouldn't lose you today, but if I lose you at some point, maybe they haven't fixed it. But anyways, but I need to talk to you guys real quick about where we are in the market. Yeah, it's been affecting trading a ton. So let me turn off. I got a monitor going over here. So hold on a second. Yeah, so it's been affecting my trading. I have been able to take trades, but it's been absolutely 100% affecting my trading. I'm still in Piton puts, and then I picked up last week. I picked up SPY February 18th. February 18th, 442, 440 Ps. And then I picked up some February 18th SPY 442, 425 Ps today at the open or at some point. Either the open, whatever, one of the 2 tops that we had earlier today. Now, let's talk about the market real quick, because I haven't been able to talk to you guys. So just really quickly, I want to get this out of the way just in case I do lose you here. I want to talk to you guys about where we are in the market. So here's where we stand, okay? There's 2 thought processes to the market right now. The first thought process is that the bottom is in, right? We know that idea that the bottom is in down below here at 420. We do know that when we sold off here, the real damage was done right where we are. Well, kind of right where we are, a little bit lower, right around here where my cursor is here, like this 441, 440 area. Some real damage was done. You know, and this is another thing to consider too. We didn't expect to go. If you guys have to remember back to when this all started, that we didn't think that we would trade lower than 450. 450 was the target. So when we targeted this 450 here, we had a nice bounce up on the 20th. And then we started to sell down, and it became severe. And this is the chart that when I had originally taken the March 2020 candlestick pattern, and overlaid it. That's where we had this really huge move that reminded me of March 2020, okay? So there's two viewpoints right now, right? Typically, if you follow the Elliott wave guys, right, we get a bounce here and they're going to retest down lower. And this is the area for us to retest down lower. And on the open today, what we're looking for is a push higher right away. And we didn't get that push higher. So usually, if we're bullish, we'll get a huge push higher. We'll break above the 451 and change or whatever and move on up to like 458, 460, somewhere in there. Like right up here in this level here. If we don't see that, the longer that we trade sideways, the more of a chance that we end up trading sideways and down to retest lower. It becomes a bull trap in a sense. And I'll show you here on Bookmap in a few moments. I had another instance of it running elsewhere. So I only have it loaded up for the past 10 minutes or so. But the point it stands is that the longer we trade sideways, we could trade up today into tomorrow and still roll the market over to test lower. Now, it is kind of odd because people are saying things like, well, I guess let me see if we can turn this off here. Hang tight here. So originally the price target to retest is much lower. It's like 400 to 408, giving some change, okay? It is that deep. Now, some people are changing their minds. They're saying, oh, we'll only test 418. We'll only test 420 again. If the market rolls over, it won't be as deep this time. I do want you guys to be aware, though, that we can retest as low as 400. There's even targets of 390 out there. That would take us into March at some point if we traded that low. There's another, okay, so we got that one out of the way, right? What do we do here where we're at? Do we break through resistance in the sellers? And the one problem with trading higher here is this move right here. When we traded to 450, right? A lot of bulls got caught in this. These are people that are long stock. And so they're back now to where they were before. And you might hear talk on the internet, right? I'm super bullish, I'm hyper bullish. That's really not true. What the truth is that you've got bulls all the way up here that got caught and they're scared. They should be scared when we trade up here. So you'll see some capitulation by bulls. And we're seeing that today for where we are today. You're seeing a heavy dose of selling at this level here. You're also seeing a lot of people that took longs here buying put protection here themselves. So you've got a mix of capitulation bulls up here, and then you've got a mix of bottom buyers down here, right, that buy the bottom, and they want to protect their longs. So if you take a long here, let's say, into summertime, it's either going to be here or somewhere over here in March where you'll get another bottom. But either way, they're going to protect themselves at this point. So if you're long from down below here, and matter of fact, I took this long yesterday and the day before. I just did 0 dates. That was it. But nothing like long, like I'm long into summertime or anything like that. But anybody that took long down here, when you hear the guys that are Ackman that's like, oh, I bought the Netflix drop or whatever, I can assure you that they're up enough that they're going to put protection on here. So you've got some capitulation from bulls here. You've got regular bulls from down below that are putting on protection here that's going to impact the price going up or not. So we've got that first theory, right? We trade down. We trade into the supply zone of trap bulls. We're also trading into a zone where you want to put on some protection if you took lower here. And that would send us back no less than to retest, let's say 430, 428, something like that. I'm of the mind that we go lower than 425 to 420. I think we could still test even lower than 420. The second round of puts that I put on are focused somewhere for a target down here. Okay. Now the second theory would be, hey, we're super bullish. We're going to do a V-shaped recovery. We're oversold. I've heard the MACD argument. The MACDs that I've been looking at, I don't usually trade MACD, but the MACDs, I'll bring those. I'll take a screenshot of a MACD chart from TradingView, and we're not as oversold. I've heard that we're as oversold as we were in March or going all the way back to 2018. And the MACDs that I'm looking at, nowhere near are we oversold. So I'd be really wary, generally speaking, following the MACD. And I'll post some charts showing the MACD going all the way back to 2018 on a daily chart going back to 2018, 2020, and in no way are we oversold in the MACD. So I don't know that I trust that either. So anyways, the second theory is, right, that we're way oversold in the MACD. We haven't seen oversold conditions, even though I can't see that in my MACDs. And I've looked at 3 different MACDs, and all say that we're fine to keep selling off. Now, let's just say they're right and I'm wrong. And we're going to trade this up in a V-shaped recovery here, right? If we do break above this 451.10 or so, right, we will be bullish to 458, 460. And we will be right at a volatility level that can send us higher to all-time highs. So think about that and consider that as we move forward. The second thing that I want to show you is there's this like old school crab thingy going on with the SPY where we could wind up just trading around in this area here and then eventually sell off into the March OPEX. You could trap bulls, bears for honestly an entire month, which would be kind of wild, right? You could sell down into OPEX, let's say on the 18th, but not the market. You don't sell the market. You just sell it up slightly, right? You trade outside of our trading range, and then you trade lower than our trading range, but you stay in this vicinity here. It's called this downward crab or something like that. And what you end up doing is you end up selling, you save the selling down into March OPEX when they talk about raising rates, and then we blast off and have a great year from that point forward. So those would be like the 3 different thought processes. Now, just for today, I do want you to realize that we want to see a blast north. So you want to see Google, PayPal, you want to see any of those companies have a really kick-ass ER today, right? You're looking for that last bit of ER kick-ass move. And the only last thing that I want to say about us trading up to all-time highs is that we start to wrap up the major waiters in our index. So how long does that rally last? And then when does profit taking take place after? So always thinking about the future and where we are in the market, right? Always thinking 1 month, 2 months, 3 months down the road, what the ultimate goal of the market is. So I'm going to turn this one off here. I'm going to bring up so you guys kind of know where we are right now, right? I'm sure all of you do. We're trading slightly outside of our trading range right now. We could even trade up here and just sell this down to retest down lower. So I'll be long puts. As a matter of fact, I was long puts back here. I picked up 442s here, and I picked up some put protection here as well. So I'll keep buying them. And I've been trading outside the money, 0 dates, 1 dates, that kind of stuff all the way up here. I haven't bought any yet for today. I'm considering buying some at the bell today, depending upon if we sell off or not. Some more 0 dates to try to trade this up even higher. I think I'm in for 5,000 on 442, and I'm in for 10,000 on the 422, 425s. And they should print, like 400, 500%. So this is my puts are paid for at this point. I want to see us trade higher, but I'm not seeing it right off the bell today is some concern for me, because as we roll this over, the longer we roll this over like this, right, you will end up seeing capitulation by bulls. You'll see some panic. Every month we talk about this, right? We roll into the first, and we start talking about by the 10th and 11th, expect the rollover, and you just start to see it happen as we trade. You'll end up seeing the days pass. You'll see like the 4th passes, the 5th passes, the 8th, the 10th. And before you know it, we're down here somewhere, and we're like, oh shit, it's not going to spring higher. We get a capitulation move lower, and then we're into OPEX, right? Try again. So I'm going to turn this one off right now. And I'm going to bring up this is the other thing that I wanted to show you from today. So this line wasn't here until this morning when we actually opened, right? The line was higher. It was at like 455, 456 this morning. And then as soon as we opened, right? As soon as we opened, this big wave of sellers just came straight down and met up at 451. They've been here all day long today. the CVD buyers and sellers, this hero indicator, it's representative of the day, but it's not the size volume that we've had. We had massive volume today. Massive volume. It's slightly been in the bears and the bulls' favor all day long, but the relentlessness of sellers has been monstrous. So the question becomes: do the bulls end up pulling the buy program at some point? And if they do, you will see these sellers continue to sell us down. Now the hero indicator's showing a low number, a low negative number, but for the whole day, it's at like minus, I don't know, 55 or 60 something thousand or something insane like that. So this is slightly deceiving down here. I wish I had the right numbers on this broadcast, but I don't. So that's the question, right? Do we trade higher? You don't want to take this long to 458 or 460 until you see a break above 45150. So right now, just a waiting game. You wait for, like we always say, right? That this is the same on the top and the bottom. You wait for the banks to do the heavy lifting for you. So if you're a bull, you should have already closed out your longs yesterday at the bell. You should have closed them out the day before in the bell as well, right? You're just taking your money and you're running every day. And as we trade up into this area here and bouncing around here all day long in this small trading zone, you're going to wait. You don't need to have the whatever money you're going to make between, 450, call it 450 flat and 450, 150 for the other 85 points if we're bullish. If you're bearish here, right, you put on put spreads. That's the easiest thing to do. You can date them out to mid-February. You can date them out to March in the money. And as we step up, you just keep adding them with farther out dates, and they eventually print. Whether we go up or go down, we know that we always change course at some point and give some of it back. Good to see everybody, by the way. So if anybody's just checking in, I am having problems with Comcast right now. I've had Comcast out now, I think 3 times. One time I did send them away. I remember they showed up in one of our broadcasts. There was a guy walking around. I think you could hear him in the background. But I've had problems with Comcast. And this time they're saying it's an amplifier. It's down the line. It's not from the pole or at my house. I guess they have an amplifier. And I'm dropping signal. I'll have like drop signals like tap, 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 1, 2, 3. And it disconnects me from streams. It disconnects me from Bookmap. Anything that's like using high juice, I get disconnected from the internet. So my internet's been off all day long. They turned it back on today. And I'm hoping again that this is the last time that I have no more drop signals. So I don't know what else to say on that. So we'll find out. This is, matter of fact, they've given me some free internet in turn. And but I'm pretty fucking pissed off about it at this point because they've told me twice, 3 times that it wasn't their problem and it was their problem. I don't know what an amplifier is, but whatever. So we'll see. So it's 2:29 in the afternoon. This is the same buy program they've had all day long since this morning. I don't know if I can bring this back to earlier today or if just because I haven't loaded this up since 9 a.m. We'll see how early we can take a look at this chart here. And we did have a mixed bag on flow today. The flow is kind of wonky. It was very neutral this morning, and it's turned up somewhat. We've got a put to call ratio of 0.59 currently. The put flow is 126,188 to 210,000 on the call side. There is more hedging coming in. Let me take a look. There is more. Hang tight here. There is more hedging coming in. We've got this morning at 9:43 and 9:39. There was $7.7 million in IWM puts taken out, and they've moved the goalpost to March 18th. There are still major puts on SPY somewhere down on the 18th. They repositioned their puts. And there's also 3 million in SPY puts as well that was taken out. There's $1 million on February 9th at 448p. That's very soon. So someone's looking for a break there. But there's also a ton of calls out there. There's calls on NVIDIA. There's calls on the Qs. There's calls on the SPY. All of them are dated this week, right? Some of them into March. There's some call expansion, which is healthy to see. Like NVIDIA's got call expansion into early February and then into February 18th, which is all healthy and positive. You want to see call expansion for the call wall to move higher. We'll take a look and see if we can find a higher call wall on the SPY today. Q's kind of the same thing, except everything is short dated on the Q's. Everything is February 2nd. There's one call out there for 520, May 20th, 365C. It was for $900,000. So we have one nice bullish bet into May on the Qs. That's positive to see. We haven't seen a lot of that call structure that's dated far out. As far as the SPY on the call side of things, all of it's short dated. I mean, if you look at the SPY calls for today, right, they're all dated February 2nd. A few February 4th, but nothing that is longer than a date. So you're still seeing gun-shy bulls at this point. It props up the market and keeps the market in play, but it's not the expansion that you're looking for still. We still haven't seen that expansion. And no matter what anyone tells you out there, we're still not bullish. We're not quite, we're not in a bear market on SPY, but we were on the IWM and the NASDAQ as well. And we're close enough and we're bearish enough, and we're in some huge volatility still, that you can see a 100, 200 point move like it's no big deal. And I think even on Sunday I posted on @CaptainsAlpha something about how we could trade down 100 points and then up 250 points. I think we did something like that on Monday. I think we had that first drop Monday morning, and then blam, we traded absolutely higher till the end of the day. We did something similar on Tuesday as well. Or excuse me, I think it was Sunday into Monday, and then Monday into Tuesday. Or yesterday. I'm getting my dates wrong here. But anyways, so for today, what is the plan for today for myself, right? Is I'm going to sit on my hands today. I've got put spreads on the market. I'm not going to pick up any calls unless we trade higher than 451. It was 51 earlier, and you can see it's coming down actually. 450. It was at 451.50, I think, earlier, and now it's slightly coming down at this point. So we'll watch together and see what happens from now into the close, and see if we're able to trade higher into the bell. If we get a nice squeeze, we could get a short covering into the bell. If you get a short covering into the bell, I would expect that we trade higher into the rest of the week. We could end up trading into Friday into that 460 or 458, I think, is what I had on the chart. Now, if we don't have any short covering into the bell, I'm going to expect capitulation over the next 1 to 3 days. We could get very bearish even with a good ER report on Google, on PayPal. There's a few others that are reporting today as well. I think the coffee company is, what is it? What are they? I think Starbucks reports today. Let me take a look and see who is reporting today. Or at least some of the big ones. We've got AMD reporting, PayPal reporting, Alphabet. We want to see those companies do well, right? If you're a bull, you want to see those companies do well. GM is reporting. GM, their plant, not plant, but they're picking up, I think, 5,000 technical workers or something. They're expanding their operations on their electrical vehicles here in Detroit. We've got Starbucks reporting, Gilead, EA is reporting, Match is reporting, MicroStrategy and A10 reporting. Those are the big ones that I see right now. And then tomorrow on the open, we've got ABBV or ABIV. We've got DR Horton, Thermo Fisher. We've got Waste Management, Marathon, Dynatrace, Humana, Johnson Controls, Capri, and Boston Scientific. We've got some other energy companies that are reporting. We know that a lot of these energy companies have done quite well. We also have Amazon reporting on Thursday after the bell, and we've got what's another big one that I can see here? Mostly just energy companies. We've got RCL is reporting, but generally speaking, we got Qualcomm. I should mention Qualcomm reporting as well on Wednesday at the close, and Spotify. T-Mobile's reporting, but in general, the majors are done this week as of Thursday. So we're going to watch this into the bell, see if we can catch any kind of a print. And myself, I can't take longs at this point today unless we trade higher than that 451. So we'll look and see. I'm going to check you guys. I'm going to see what you guys are. Going to see what you guys are saying now. AMD sucks. General Motors, Starbucks, PayPal, Google, Live, Bookmap, Feed, and Discord was a lifesaver. Facebook tomorrow. Facebook, AMD. Yeah, I got Facebook as well. I failed to mention Facebook, didn't I? I liked Facebook the other day. So Facebook and Microsoft were two of the ones. Facebook is one of the companies that I thought had traded low enough. If you look at all the big tech stocks that are holding the market up, Facebook actually traded down to a very nice number relative to like a year chart. If you look at a year chart on Facebook, it really started giving itself up all the way back to March 30th. I like the Facebook trade in the close today, actually, or into tomorrow. Yeah, Apex Legends skins. Yeah, you know what? The other thing I tried to do, Jesus, was I tried to switch from Streamlabs OBS to Streamlabs, whatever the other one is. Oh no, it's OBS Studio, and I fucked that all up. I need like a crash course. I need a better crash course on OBS Studio. I hope MicroStrategy collapses on earnings. Yeah, Zoom, all the energy stocks grabbed a nice bid this morning. Yeah, nice bid here coming into close. It looks like we're fighting past some sellers here. Let's take a look here and see what's going on with the SPY. I haven't done stream elements. I've heard about stream elements. Captain Tom Lee yesterday on CBS had report all Bitcoin stolen. Basically, one of the companies that bottlenecks and shortages don't affect at all. Yeah, I've heard of stream elements, but I haven't used it, and I'd be willing to pay. So my problem is this. My problem is that I don't have a problem with the original Streamlabs. I have a problem with Comcast, but at the same time, before Comcast said it was an amplifier, I thought it could possibly be Streamlabs OBS because they pre-build a lot of their shit, and it has a lot of bloatware in it. You can design OBS Studio to be like slimmed down, right? You only using what you need and stuff like that, but you also have to build everything out a second time. And I rebuilt Streamlabs OBS once this week, and that shit didn't work either. I ended up messing that all up as well. I had to go back in and mess with the bit rates and all that kind of stuff. But it still wasn't the problem. The problem is that I have an amplifier in the line somewhere up the road that they changed. So supposedly I'm good to go at this point, and we'll see if that's the case. Yeah, that's a good question. Does anybody think we're gonna puke today? Do you think there's a strong chance, even if we trade for, we likely see a strong rejection based on the relative size of that subwall up there? No, as long as you trade above this if you trade above the 451.50, it means that you've exhausted those sellers there. You should be good to go. We would trade above it, right? Bounce around a little bit, and as long as we don't if you don't see let me rephrase it all. So we didn't hard reject off it today. Let's look at that, okay? We didn't hard reject off 451.50. That's telling on two sides. If it takes 1 to 3 days, it will become a hard rejection. If it takes too long. If we're able to break above, though, if futures are able to push us above 451, 453, we can trade this higher. It has to do more with time for where we are and the vulnerability of bulls, right? If bulls try to push higher, and fail, we do tend to trade back. We give back what we traded to, looking for more support lower. Like really, hold on, I'm missing a bunch of shit here. Raise rates at May meeting, current inflation is quite high. I think it really helps us right now. I'm missing a bunch of what you guys are saying. Hey, Maro. I'm missing a bunch. You guys talk so fast. Yeah, so the sell wall is large. Not only you've got two issues right now. You've got a sell wall, right? We talked about earlier. You've got trapped buyers. So no one thought we were going below 450. Nobody. Bears didn't. Nobody did. Then we extended down. This is that area right here. And you've got bulls, right, that have been stuck. Not all, but a lot that want to capitulate. And that's where this sell wall is right here. And then you've got bulls that bought the bottom down at 420 that want to put on some protection here. And so you've got bulls from down below putting on protection, capitulation from above, and that causes this area here of volatility, right? So we have to see if we can wear out these sellers and trade higher at this point, and if we can't wear out these sellers and bulls lose their will over the next 1 to 3 days. So I guess that's the question. Do we sell down at this point? Now, if we had broken through the wall at the bell, like this morning, I would have said we trade higher with conviction. We trade higher. We trade into the 460 or 458.60 or something like that is my target. But if we're doing what we're doing right now, and Google can't put it together into after hours today, if PayPal, AMD, Facebook, if Amazon can't put it together between now and Friday, you will see that deep sell-off, right? So put on some put protection, put hedges, and then pick up after and above 451.50. You don't have to win the entire trade. You only have to win part of that trade. It's too funny. One day, right? Not live streaming for one day. Dead. Okay, so what do you guys? I want to know what you guys think we do into this close. My thought process is this, or this is what I think. Okay, you tell me what you think, and I'll tell you what I think. I think we trade up into the bell, right at this 451.50. I think they wait for the earnings that come out after hours. I think that gives the onus to futures traders to push it up higher so that we can trade to the 460. The 450. Wait a minute. Let me look at it's 458. I've got it at 458.63. Now, if earnings suck today, right? If they suck today, we're going to start trading down. And if they continue to suck into Amazon, we're going to trade it down. The one thing you have to consider about Amazon, let's be honest about Amazon. It's a great company, but they're not going to be giving guidance. Well, maybe. I guess anybody can give whatever guidance they want, right? But I don't think that they're going to give the same guidance that they gave for lockdowns in 2020, 2021. I don't think the outlook is the same, right? We're going to have the exact same sales as we did in 2020, 2021. So probably have good guidance, but I don't think it'll be, the fireworks one. Maybe. There's a lot of good guidance coming out right now. So I have to give that to the bull theory that we trade higher. Myself, I think we trade up to 451. We're here. We trade it up here where they pin it here. They don't let it sell off into the bell. They want to see what earnings are for the companies that are reporting today. The same probably goes for the rest of the week into Amazon on Friday. Now, if those earnings aren't anything less than stellar with great forward guidance, we sell down to the pits of hell. No, I think that matters. I think that does matter to the market. Even if we sell higher to 464, let's say we tag all-time highs, and then we take profit and sell the market down. That's on the table as well. But not seeing us trade higher than 451 right off the bell today lends me to think that if we keep trading sideways, if the earnings aren't what we're expecting them to be, then we'll trade sideways and then slightly down over time. But I think we pin it into close today. I don't think there's a sell-off. I think we trade it straight up to 451. They leave you on a cliffhanger. Grab yourself some put spreads as protection. And then if you want to grab some zero dates after the bell in case of good earnings, you can do that. Yeah, I think it's a bear trap too. You think Amazon will miss? Yeah, I don't know if Amazon will miss or not. It's tough for me to see. It seems like some companies are being honest and others are not. You saw the personal income is going down, right? You saw that people are not spending money. That was confirmed. There's mechanics underneath the hood that look like a lot of window dressing right now. This looks like window dressing to me in the market, because all of the numbers are showing a slowing economy, people saving money. The house buying is showing that people are panicking before rates are raised. And people want to save their money, so that's fine. We can trade this up. This is a bear trap. I don't think this is a bear trap. I think the longer we trade sideways, it becomes a bull trap. I think it becomes less and less bullish the longer we trade sideways here. I feel like Amazon will miss if they outdo last year. Last year they had a blowout. Yeah, they had a blowout. Like Amazon earnings were killing it last year. The one thing I want to see is I was commenting on the child tax credit, I think it's called, or something like that. That will force people back to work. The more money that you take away from people will force people back to work. But I don't like that people aren't spending money out and about. People are not going to restaurants. People are not going on vacation. People are not doing the things that they say they do. They're not doing like they once were. I don't like that people's personal income, they've already bought their cars and trucks. They've already bought their washing machines. They've bought all that stuff, and they're not spending money now on services. And that's of a concern to me. No, I did not watch CNBC yesterday. I've been having some major internet outages here. Like I can't watch TV. Like, so my TV that's connected to the internet. Well, today, I think I can right now. I couldn't watch it up until this morning. They've turned my internet off twice. They had to, and then they installed an amplifier down line of, I guess the amplifier was bad on my Comcast line past my pole. But I can't watch TV. I can't do a Zoom call. I can't watch YouTube. I can't post a video. I get these interruptions that are, they tap. It's like tap, tap, tap. And then like it flickers and then I'm off. It like cuts me out of my brokerage, cuts me off of Bookmap. I turn on my TV to watch something on like YouTube or something. and Netflix or something like that. It loads up and then it drops the signal. And one more warning to any of you out there. We have a winter storm coming where I live. And this last summer in August, I had an internet outage. It lasted 7 days, like August 10th or 12th or something. As a matter of fact, I just got a letter back from DTE. I applied for, I lost, like, you guys want to hear a crazy fucking story? I think I lost $5,000 on a trade. I lost internet and power this past summer, right? So I have an inverter generator to power my house, like a big one, and big, nice, quiet Honda. And so I spun my generator up, and I go to turn on my internet. My internet was down. They actually shut the internet down because no one had power. I think they did it because I think at the time they said it was because they were trying to help out the electrical company, but whatever. I ended up losing a bunch of money that time. And I've got a snowstorm and high winds coming here. I believe it starts right now. I believe it starts tonight. And it doesn't end until Thursday. And it wouldn't shock me that I have power from now into Thursday, and then I lose power for a week. I feel like Michigan's like a third world country in some respects. I'm from out west where they bury everything. Like, you bury the power lines, you bury the gas lines, you never lose power, ever. You get snowed on every day and it doesn't shut anything down. But Michigan, and they don't plow the roads in Michigan. I don't know if you knew that or not, but they just don't. Yeah, Mero has this correct. Yeah, so that's what I did. I've been trading on my phone. I've been trading on my phone, but I haven't been able to have, like, I finally had Bookmap up and running, and then I've got I can trade them by my phone, but that's it. So I wanted to address what Mero is talking about here real quick, which is important, right? So you probably will see into close today, they're going to park this or trade it up into close. They're going to wait for these earnings statements, right? If these earnings statements are good, you'll see futures traders bump us up and over 451. There'll be nothing that the capitulation sellers can do about it. If the earnings start to come out bad the next few days, we've got the last of the big companies giving their earnings this week, right? If we don't have those good earnings, you will see us sell down deeply. Yeah, I've got so right now I've got 2 Teslas and I've got a Cadillac Escalade. That's my ski wagon. The Escalade is a 4-wheel drive. It's got all the fancy, like everything, leather, everything. It's got heated this and heated that. Yeah, let's look above and lower. That's a good question. Let's look above and lower on the market here. This is a large wave of sellers here, right? We know this. We know if we trade higher than it, we've got a little bit of resistance at 455. But in reality, if we trade above this here, I do want you to see this right here. Do you see these sellers here? These sellers, there's a nice fat line of sellers above here, right? We've got nothing above here. We've got no call structure. All the call structure is dated for February 2nd. Literally, like, generally speaking, the call structure is for it's 2 days. Okay? So you got some resistance here at 460. Your next resistance is at 470. Bunch of trap buyers above at that 475, 476. Consider that your absolute gamma strike up top for right now. If you look at the call structure from today, most of it's all dated for the next. And your next real sellers are above here, right around 460. get some big resistance here at 455. But if we can trade above that and start to squeeze, we should be able to squeeze to that 460. Now we'll look below, and it's actually much scarier down below. I think it was earlier today. What was scarier about down below is there wasn't really any support until you get down to 420. And that's the knife's edge that we're on in this market right now. Or just today. Shouldn't say right now. So you got some support at 435. Light support at 440. Light support at 443, but generally speaking, 435, 430. And that wasn't here this morning. It was at 420 this morning, so it's built up. Real support is down below here at 420. And make sure you be aware of this here, this 428. If we were to trade to 430, expect a dip down to 430 or 428 or so. Your real support is down here at 420. If you're going to look lower, I don't know. I think we'd have to have some really bad minor support at 410. I think if you had all the earnings with bad guidance, you'd see 408, 400 right down here. There's major support down here at 400. And if early in the broadcast, I went through the bull case, the bear case, and the sideways case. The sideways case is the scary one. That's where you end up burning both bulls and bears. They're at 450.27. Same wave of sellers above here. Big, nice, fat wave of sellers. We've got an hour left. This is the power hour we're coming into right now. The hero indicator is turning slightly bullish right now, which is a good positive thing. So we'll see if we can get a quick capitulation move. And I'll if you guys want, I'll take some calls into the close with you, because I do want some 1 day calls to see where we trade. Some Facebook calls coming in, PayPal calls, XLE February 18th, 67C for $1 million. Those came in at 223 half an hour ago. There's a bunch of call holders on 450C. 203,000 contracts out on 450C. What are the other calls that came out? Some light retail buying of calls, 455C, for like $30,000. Light Apple calls, $59,000 on February 4th, 177.5C. This is all retail stuff, though. None of this is big stuff. SPY, February 2nd, 455C. That's for $95,000. Yeah, there's not a lot of support below. I do need you guys to understand that. There is a steady supply of sellers. Yeah, the amount of puts for 218 does keep increasing. And they're repositioning somewhat those puts. My assumption is that we trade up into the bell, where they're going to pin it high, awaiting earnings, and so that they can push it up and over. If earnings are good. If earnings are not good, it'll be swift. It won't be swift, but it'll begin to get swift. You'll see swift selling. Yeah, so we are trading up now into resistance here at 450. 451.18 or so. So we'll expand this and take a look and see if the bulls and if there's some panic from shorts. I would expect some panic from shorts. Google is not to be trifled with. Alphabet, not to be trifled with. So there we are. We're now at 451.03. We should see some panic, some short panic at some point as well into the bell at 4 p.m. If you are long in 0 dates right now or 1 dates, be conscious that we could slightly trade back on this trade briefly and then trade back up at some point. Got here just in time. Yep, panic loading bears. They should panic into close. Hell yeah, Miro. Hell yeah, Miro. Nice little pump, right? Nice little spy pump into the bell. watching now we're seeing late spy calls coming in. Wednesday, February 2nd, 448C for a cool half milli. I saw a cartoon making fun of is it Gen Z or something? It was lighthearted, but it said now offering $900,000 for a job, and no one was in the line for the $900,000 job. The other job said offering a half milli, and they took that job instead. Because $900,000 doesn't sound like enough. So now we're at 451.59. February 2nd, 452C for $100,000. Pamp it into close, baby. Pamp it into close. Not really up too much. It's only up 84 cents. They were 60 cents a minute ago, or 10 minutes ago. Nice big buy right here. Hero indicator is positive. Buy program on into the bell. You're looking for a target of 454.35. Give me just a second here. I got to manage some calls. Watching Amazon calls come in right now. February 4th, 3050C, $1.5 million. A little bit closer here. Another bounce down below. So that same number here, 451.34. Watching calls come in on Apple, February 18th, 175C for $200,000. That Amazon was pretty big. Netflix, February 4th, 455C for $85,000. We'll see if we can trade this up to 455. I think that's where the next resistance band is. If shorts have to cover, see if we can find a target if we trade up this high. Somewhere 455.25. I'm not sure we can get that high. But you know that we can cover ground fast if shorts capitulate at some point. So I'll put a squeeze target if it squeezes. And we've got, 50 minutes left. If we squeeze higher, put a squeeze target of 455.21. All that waiting all day long, right? Now we're gonna make a move. Yeah, I think Amazon. No, is Amazon Thursday or Friday? I don't remember. That's Thursday after the close. Yep, after the close. So Friday fun tickets. Yeah, those 455Cs now have interest in them. So let's see. They could print 200. I think if I have to top of my head, if we get to 455, they should print like $1.30 to $1 or $2. I'd call it $1. It depends. It's not an OPEX day. If you do hold calls into the close today, try to sell them right at the bell or before the bell, because you might not realize the gains after the bell. They'll trade back at some point. Google, baby. Alphabet. Let's look at the VIX real quick, too. Where's the next support level for the VIX? So next support for VIX is 2168. So it's got some room to go down. Watching calls come in on ABBV, February 18th, 143C. It's not a lot of money. It's split between sweeps, 36,000, 31,000, 38,000. That is a bullish move for the SPY today. Even though it took all day long, seeing us above at 451.89 is bullish context for a move higher. A way to be aware of that. If you break above the sellers and you're flipping sellers into buyers, it should relate to a positive move for the market. Oh, I'm holding puts. I'm holding put spreads into. I've got put spreads into February 18th, and I should have taken my put spreads that I've got for. I've got 422. I've got 442 and 440s, and I've got 422 425s, but they're dated for OPEX. So I should be safe there. But well, the 422 425s are dirt cheap, and they print heavy. And I'm about break even right now with my calls, having paid for my puts. So anything from this point forward is just gravy. You want to see if we can bounce off of 451.42. If not, the next target would be 450.48. Watching Facebook calls come in. Very nice structure. Facebook, March 18th, 335C for $137,000, $53,000, and $155,000. See if that target is still there above. It's firming up. It's looking much better than it was before. 454.89, 455.18. We'll see if the bulls can pull it together into the close here. My suspicion is that yes. My suspicion is that you don't want to mess with Google earnings. What about our Piton? I'm still holding Piton puts. I've got Piton puts, SPY puts, but they're safe puts. And you should be in them too. If you run naked, you always fail eventually. Watching Apple calls, February 18th, 175Cs for $500,000. IWM calls, February 18th, 210C for $382,000 and $396,000. NSC, that's November Sierra Charlie, February 4th, 275C for $98,000. I've never seen those calls on Flow Algo, so I would be interested in those. Unusual, even if it's to buy just the underlying. Probably meant to prop it up. Miro is saying SPY target is 455. Be warned in case of a flush, buy it. When I run naked, I get arrested. Yeah, the thing about a put spread is it doesn't matter when they hit. They don't. I mean, they lose value as as it's going up, but as long as it comes back down and hits the target, they print every single time. That's why when we come into OPEX months or even OPEX weeks on Fridays, you guys sometimes notice that we trade to a specific number. It tends to be because there are a lot of options at that number. There's a lot of call spreads, put spreads, whatever there is, regardless of where we want the market to go. Watching some dark pool right now that is showing signs of a bullish reversal, which is good. The SPY dark pool from this morning was not healthy. It was showing signs of a bearish reversal, but the current flow coming in right now, I'm watching a dark pool come in on SPY, XLF. XLF is neutral. Now watching more SPY dark pool coming in, showing a bullish reversal. Very positive. Watching Facebook calls come in. March 18th, 335C. 2 sweeps at $279,000 and $228,000. So a substantial tech flow coming in at the 3 p.m. hour. Haven't seen this much call flow on tech all day long. And also on IWM. This morning we had some really ugly IWM put flow coming in, but now we're seeing some positive IWM call flow come in as well. Also the Qs, February 2nd, 365C. $98,000. Now it's going to be a duel between who's going to flinch, right? Do the shorts flinch or do the bulls flinch? Into the bell. Let's go closer. Take a look here and see what's happening. Yeah, I'm still bearish here. I'm still bearish. I still think we trade down. I don't buy what's being sold. I think the first moment that the bulls have, they're going to sell. Well, the trapped bulls, not bulls, trap bulls. There's three issues. First, you've got trap bulls from above still, and then you've got bulls that bought the 420 that want to protect their longs. So you have that impact, and then you've got even after earnings, you've got profit taking. So I think it ultimately still goes back to one more nice fat dip for us. So now we're trading up to 451.97. Should continue to trade higher here. Price target today, 455 into the bell. Do we get it? Or do we bounce around into the bell? Would be hilarious. Sorry about that. I gotta manage my trades. Now trading at 452, trying to break above, looking for a price target above 455 and change, 454 and change, right here. It's actually, no, yep, right around that 455. Always be conscious as we trade higher here that today is not an OPEX day, right? So when we trade into these higher numbers here, we could trade up into the bell here. You could see the value of your calls and drop off, take profit, take the money and run. And then if you wanted to re-enter again, re-enter after the bell, either at the 401 or at 415, especially in a non-OPEX day, because you will see the interest burn off on calls that don't expire today. The one other thing we're not seeing is you're seeing really nice stuff right now. You're seeing a bunch of Facebook calls coming in still. Q's February 18th, 375C for $800,000. Hello, ladies. That's a nice expansion right there. $800,000, February 18th, 375C. Just be conscious into the bell. You can take profit. Then at like 4:13 in the afternoon, you re-enter calls again if the interest burns off. It not being an OPEX day, because what you'll end up seeing on OPEX days is you'll see in the money, or you'll see calls come in that are dated expiring for this day that'll pin it into OPEX, into that 4:15 hour, so you can print right into 4:15. But with today not being an OPEX, there's always that chance that as we get closer to the bell, that we will sell backwards, or at the bell itself, the interest going down on options. You can give back everything that you made on the trade higher into the bell. Give me another round of those calls, man. Give me a second round of those calls. Or no, third round. Just keep our eyes on the prize. 455.24. It's actually gone higher slightly. Kind of nice to see. Yeah, I always sell the bell. If I pick up this, there's a few things that I do. So if I'm trading before, let's say I'm trading at 3 p.m. and we're going up, I'll close at the bell before we hit 4. Sometimes like 3:55 or so in the afternoon. If we are trading down into the bell, I'll wait until after the bell to buy calls. If I'm still bullish trading into the bell, I'll sell calls to the bell on OPEX day and then rebuy them again after the bell. Especially if we like you guys, like a week ago, was it I forget who it was. Was it Microsoft or something? We sold off like crazy. We had like crazy selling in after the bell, and then I bought calls at like 4:14. It was really wonky because we were red, but not red. And it really didn't matter if we were green the next day or not. I think those printed 300% or something insane. Timing. Okay. Let's see if there's another buy. Give me that sweet 86 cents again. I had a 60 center and then an 86 center. Now we're up to like 97 cents in those calls. Those could pull back for just a brief moment to like 70 cents or 80 cents. Buy them again. Terrible. Make those 455s like anywhere from 60 to 80 cents. We'll scoop them up again. I've got the finger on the trigger. I might miss them. They're holding right around like 95 cents, 92 cents, 96 cents. Patience. Patience. Watching some mixed calls come in, all small tickers, not really relevant right now, like BMY, BAC, MOS, garbage, GM, 80 grand. Come on back a little bit. Get a little bit of dippage. A little bit of a price target here at 452.43. If you're still long in calls, tag it, take the money. Calls are up to 99 cents now. Dollar. Nice little tag right here. 452.43. The prize for the Bulls heading into close. 455.26. Now at 452.47. You guys making money out there? Yeah, I think I saw some Starbucks puts earlier too, but I didn't mention them because it was a little money. And Starbucks has gotten wrecked. So like there's like February 4th 94p for $63,000 on Starbucks. That's a tough call. Watching more SPY calls come in. QQQ's calls. Now trading at 452.52. Burr, baby, burr. Print it. Price target above 45.50. Calls it up to $1.09. Nice little touch. 452.72 currently. Yeah, I don't know if I would have taken that trade on Starbucks. They're like Facebook. Like some companies haven't been beaten up. Some companies have. Starbucks, one of them. 452.77. Do we tag 455? That's the question, right? Do we tag 455? Bring it home to daddy. Bring home 455.0. You guys making money right now? How does PayPal look? It's a tough call on PayPal. I think PayPal does well, but I can't recommend it because it's so dangerous. I don't like playing the actual earnings tickers. I like playing the indexes for earnings. It's safer. I don't like that the interest fucks calls and puts. Like you have to strangle everything. If you don't strangle it, there's no point in playing them. Calls on RCL. March 18th, 85C, $233,000. RCL, February 18th, 80C, $213,000. Loads of SPY calls coming in. February 2nd, 450C, $190,000. February 2nd, 452C, $200,000. Apple calls coming in. Affirm calls coming in. Affirm, February 4th, 75C for $48,000. Apple calls, February 4th, 177.5C for $30,000. QQQs, February 2nd, 365C, $122,000. NVIDIA calls coming in, February 4th, 255C for $75,000. NVIDIA calls have been all day long today. Started this morning and just relentless. Just relentless. A little bit of a breather here on the SPY. It's 3:34 in the afternoon. Look for another dip and rip. Possibly a tag below at 452.03. And maybe a dip down to 451.41. Buy the fucking dip is definitely 45.111. More than likely, you'll see a tag right at 452.16. Shouldn't take long. Just pump it into the close. Just pamp it. Pamp it good. Just think, too, if you're a bear, all you have to do is trade 0 dates in every one of these pumps every day. Pays for all your puts. Makes you some money. eBay, June 17th, 67.5C, $346,000. June 17th, 67.5C, eBay. QQQs, February 2nd, 366C, $88,000. AMD, February 4th, 125C, $187,000. I'm going to look up real quick is like how many times has Google actually missed ER? It hasn't been many. It's like the granddaddy of all the tech stocks. Let's see if they've missed many earnings. Yeah. Haven't missed an earnings since November or October 2020 and May of 2020. They've literally beat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight ERs. Monster. again. Tag this. Give me one more dip. One more quick dip. Give me one more quick dip. NVIDIA, February 18th, 265C, $152,000. I don't know if I told you about the last Qs that came in. Small buyer, doesn't matter though. February 2nd, 367C, $67,000. Facebook, February 4th, 330C, $49,000. NVIDIA, February 11th, 245C, $428,000. Bulls have just been loading the boat with NVIDIA. Literally all day long. It started, we're right at the open, hasn't ended all day long. They didn't care what price it was at. Just buy more NVIDIA. And it's really not showing anything into this bell right here. If you look at NVIDIA today, I mean, it fell from 253 down to 238. And they just didn't give a flying F. They didn't care. I think it was a total of, now this isn't even all the calls at NVIDIA, right? This is just algo assigned calls, right? Stuff that's at the ask, matching dark pool. 29 orders, $6.1 million in the day for NVIDIA. Banging. Must be something that's unknown, I don't know. Remind me a lot of Tesla bulls. One more buy. One more buy, baby. One more buy in the SPY. All right, so we just blew through the 452.24. Next target is 451.56. Target below that is 451.11. See if we can get one more nice ripper out of this. I think originally we started those 455s started at like in the 60s. They were like 60 cents. Then they moved up to the 84 cents, 85 cents level. Matter of fact, I'm going to buy some right now just in case. Sell them to me. Capitulate. There we go. Okay. I'll buy again in the 60-cent range if I have to. So we'll see if we get a nice bounce here. Might get one more capitulation move down. Anywhere from 60 to 85 cents, 60 cents, 85 cents. It's a pretty decent buy on those one dates. Yeah, I grabbed some of that dip. I'll add to it if it keeps selling down, Miro. I don't want to miss it, though. There's two good pumps there. We can get one more pump into the close. It's 3:41. We've got 19 minutes left. See if the bulls can bag them and tag them. Yeah, we can gap it over the night. Just make sure you manage that trade. You know, if you want to gap it up into the overnight, you can trade it into, you know, right before the bell. Then you can buy it again at 4. You can sell it at the bell, buy it again at 413, 410. If there's any kind of like panic selling after the bell, you can buy it a second time, put on some put spreads. They're dirt cheap. Date them out for like the 18th. That's our OPEX. Protects your trade if it fails. We are in the resistance area. We do have news coming out that we don't know. We don't know what earnings are going to be. Yeah, that's right, Spy. Pump it. Pump it. Pump it, pump it, pump it. Pamp it for daddy. Love these trades. These trades always print fucking fat every time. Watching more Q's calls come in. February 11th, 375C, $300,000. Q's. February 11th, 375C, $333,000. So just massive flow coming in the Q's currently. Relentless flow coming in the Q's. Just scalping away, making money. Scalping away, making money. 455s are now up 25% or so, 20%. Making money. Now they're up 25%. Making money. Just scalping away so you don't have to have a job. Pamp it. Pamp it, baby. Pamp it. Yeah, you protect your trade. It's easy, right? It's easy to protect your trades. Take that long, put some in the money call or put spreads on, date them out to OPEX. Even if the put spreads burn for a week, I promise you, they'll come back down by OPEX and they will print. And if they don't print and you're just taking the long side the entire way up, then it doesn't matter, does it? Because you're just making lots of money on your longs. But it does feel nice when you have protection. Oh, you don't get bent over. Boom, boom. Those calls are up to $1.07 now. They were down as far as like 82, 83 cents. We're now up to $1.05. $1.06. Do. Yeah, they did, didn't they, Tegan? I can't be bearish on any earnings. I got to play strangles in every single one of them. I can't trust any of them. Like even the analysts this year, they're wrong 75. I think they were wrong like 70% this year. They never get it right. So the only way to play in earnings is with a strangle. Print it. 452.97. 453. 453.06. 453.07. 453.08. All right, I'm gonna sell. $1.13. Thank you very much. I'll take it. It was a quick ripper. It was like 40% or something. Thank you for the 40%. Yeah, sometimes. Okay, so SPX options. I'm going to try to buy those. I get some SPX options, but I don't get them all. I haven't put a request into Bookmap yet, but it is on my list of things to do. It's very expensive to pay for them, supposedly. If they're like $500 a month, I'd be willing to pay for them, like $500 or less a month. I know that they have different prices for enterprise versus a professional versus an individual. So I'm still looking into that right now. I have it's weird. The help desk isn't open like all day. Sometimes I put questions and they never get answered. Sometimes I put questions and they do get answered. Some out of those calls briefly, real quick. We'll see if we get one more ripper into the bell. See if we can grab one more. Well, yeah, see we're selling off right there again. A little bit of hammer camel there, or hammer candle. Watching some Google calls coming in. April 14th, 3250, $140,000. Watching a rack of snow calls coming in, spread across 3 sweeps. February 4th, 300C for $60,000, $39,000, $38,000, all on snow. A little bit of follow-up right here. I'm going to buy in again real quick. Hold on. I don't think we're going down. More Google calls. April 14th, 3250, $95,000. QQQs, February 4th, 372. C, $128,000. You might get another rip out of this. Yeah, slightly better price than that. God damn fucking Tasty Trade sucks. Fucking hate trading on this sometimes. Come on. Give me a rack. Just waiting here. I'm going to try to enter again. Hold on here. I want to see something. Want to see if there are any sneaky Pete's. Any sneaky Pete's in here. Watching calls come in on the Qs. February 4th, 372. No, I don't want that price. Pissing me off here. Man, sometimes the order flow shit pisses me off. Like the buying and selling of a fucking order flow drives me fucking batty. 455 is now up to $1.23. Price target 455. 450, 455.18. Yeah, that fucking order flow shit pisses me off. Like 3-4 pennies here and there, 2 pennies here and there. More NVIDIA calls coming in. March 18th, 240C. Upstart. UPST. February 11th, 130C for $85,000. I don't know if I told you what those NVIDIA calls were $500,000. Rack 'em. Careful here on the VIX. VIX is curling up a little bit, I think. Nope. Gonna sell down. $453.54, a pin strike. All we've got is another $1.50 to go, and we'll hit our target of 455. Almost home, baby. Almost home. Almost home. If there is a quick sell-off, look for a touch down below here at 452.73. Might break through for a moment, but even if we get there, you might tag 452.71. But as we get closer, we've only got 8 minutes left. Probably won't even strike it. Probably just move up into the close. We'll see. Only 5 minutes, or we got what, 8 minutes left? See if we can get one more strike. Have some more calls coming in on DKNG, Donkey Kong, NVIDIA, February 4th, 260C, $43,000. Come on, Bears. It hit like 130. I think we're at 120 right now on those calls. We talked about that, I don't know, an hour ago, right? Should tag 120 or so, in 120 and 160 or so. So we'll see if we can get it any higher from where it's at right now. It's a pretty good tag, 120. The lower end of the expectation heading into the bell. I think they started out at 60 cents earlier. They've doubled in price. But they've pumped a bunch since then. AMD calls coming in. February 4th, 122C, $224,000. NVIDIA, half milli. February 4th, 247.5C. NVIDIA is just racking them up into the bell. Got 6 minutes left. It's kind of like a do or die, right? Into this bell. Do we tag 455? That's the question. We're able to go up. Facebook, June 17th, 380C. Now at $1.26 on those calls. $1.29, $1.30 on those calls. $1.31. Come on. Give me $1.60. Give me that ripper and a close. Slap that 45-0. $1.29 now. $1.30. NVIDIA calls. More NVIDIA calls. We got NVIDIA calls, Facebook calls. People just throwing hundreds of thousands of dollars, $500,000 at a time at tech right now into the bell on hopes of a good earnings call and a good earnings call the rest of the week. Tagging 453.63. Can we bag them at 455.0? That is the question. Can we bag 455.0? Let's do it. We have 5 minutes left in this bell. If you are in calls with me right now, it is always better to take profit, count your money, than risk us selling down into the bell. You might lose out on that extra 20, 30 cents, but there's no shame in taking the money and running. You can live another day. I will bring up the Bitcoin chart for you, Quinn. Right at the bell, brother. No shame in taking profit. No shame in taking profit. Yeah, we'll watch the reaction for Google, PayPal. We'll watch a few reactions. I'll have them all up on a grid here. So we'll watch the immediate reactions after the bell. If we get any kind of like a quick, if we get any kind of a quick panic sell at the bell on those tickers, it'd be a nice. I hope that we get a quick panic sell, because then I'll buy calls again after the bell. So we'll see if we get that. If we get some kind of like a panic last few minutes, or the last, or after 4 p.m. on any of the tech earnings after the bell. Well, if we can get the earnings statements before 4:15, even if we don't get the guidance, if they have beats, maybe we can grab some more calls. Take the money and run. I mean, it can go up still. You got 3 minutes left, right? We could rip into the bell and it could print. But seriously, take your money and run. Always like taking the money and running. $465. I think Tesla goes zero volume last 3 minutes. Yeah, there might be some weakness into the bell. It's not an OPEX day. We could trade up though. We could blast one big giant green bar into the close to 455. But you never know, right? So if you've got money, take it off the table. Live to fight another trade. We're going to park it right here into the bell. We got 1 minute left. And I'm going to bring up some tickers here. Well, what we'll do is we'll load up at the spell. We're going to do is we're going to load up the Bitcoin chart for Quinn. Quick sell down into the bell. Leave this up for just a brief moment. Go on, take the money and run. Trader Bob and Trader Sue. Go on, take the money and run. Woo, woo, woo. Oh, yeah, there you go. Take that money and run. Good boys and girls. Take the money and run. Take the money and run. All right, there's 4 p.m. Let's see what happens after the bell. Watching for Piton. Piton, just a little bit of a allergic reaction. PayPal looks like it is going higher after the bell. That's going back and forth right now. Real wonkiness going on. Piton selling off after the bell. Google, surprisingly, is selling off after the bell. They're going kind of wacky. A quick move down. Might be a liquidity grab to go higher. They're down at 27.4380. Might just be a liquidity grab to go higher. I'm going to check calls right now after the bell. Those calls are now down to the 455s are down to $1.05. I'm going to clear this out real quick. See if I can grab some dirt cheap. Sometimes you can grab some. There we go. Come on down a little bit. Burn off some of that real quick. Burn off some of that. Can you grab them for $1.03? Was looking to grab some 455Cs once again at like $1.03. Tesla's acting wonky after the bell as well. AMD is selling down after the bell. Piton, good night. All that bullshit with Piton. Piton's like trying to blend in. It's like we're with the regular guys over there. Did you guys see that the Piton's releasing like some kind of arm strap or something? Like you want to be caught dead walking around town with an arm strap on? I'm like, this is a disaster. How did you not buy an outdoor bike company? How did you not make all that money and not buy a bike manufacturer for outdoors? How is that not the logic? Come on, fill my calls, damn it. Boom. Filled. I'm in at $1.03 on 455C. Once again, I'm in some calls on SPY for tomorrow. And I'm still in puts on, I got fucking put spreads up the asshole right now. Okay. So let's bring up Bitcoin so I don't need to focus on that anymore. So we'll look at Bitcoin real quick. We're going to see what Bitcoin's doing. Unsubscribe. This is for my man Quinn, if he's still out there. Oh no, what did I want? I want the GDAX. Let's see where some support is on GDAX. Let this load up here. You guys took some profit? Good job. Yeah, the armband is stupid. Like, how did you not buy a bicycle company? Like an outdoor mountain bike company, road bike company? Did you take your money and run, right? Took your money and ran, right? All right, Quinn's here. Okay, so has anybody heard anything on our ER statements yet? Anybody tracking? I'm not looking at them right now to see did anybody beat. Oh shit, EA, dude, EA is like famous for this shit, aren't they? EA shit the bed. They are famous for fucking themselves up. Oh shit. Bye bye EA. EA Sports. How's Google doing? After hours Google. Whammo, baby. Whammo. Google's ripping. Fuck yeah, Google. My calls are going to print. Woo! Hell yeah. I'm going to make some more money into the open tomorrow. Google ripping after the bell. Sell it for profit. Get back in after the bell. Hello, ladies. Look at Google just monstering it. Crushing it right now. Google cranking up 92 points in the after hours. Burr, baby, burr. What are my calls doing right now? I could probably sell these calls. I could sell these calls before we even hit the bell. I could sell another ripper before we even end the day here. It's only 4:05 and they're up 20%. Jeepers creepers. Ripping into the close. Google just smashing it out of the park right here. Wild. 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 Look at that cranking SPY. SPY dark pool buys. Bullish turn after the bell. Loading up on the SPY after the bell on dark pool. Look at Google after the bell. Just monster moves. Monster moves after the bell. Wild. Look at that move. Unreal. Unreal. Google just carrying the market. Carrying the market. Yeah, that SPY for $1.03 went up to $1.15. So if you sold SPY right before the bell, and then you rebought SPY after the bell for $1.03, they're now up crazy. You know, that real quick spike down, real quick spike back up. All right, let's take a look at Old Man Johnson over here, Bitcoin. We're at 38.66. This is not good. This is not good. We can't say this is good, right? You don't want to be here when you're Bitcoin, right? Just sitting here on support. You got more buyers than sellers, which is good, but you've got some resistance above, right? The resistance at 39.41, resistance at 39.94. Your resistance again at 40,000, right? 40,096, right? So you don't want to see stuff like this. See what's going on with Bitcoin. Why can't I get Bitcoin to go higher? Let's take a look right here and see above. You want to see stuff like this on Bitcoin. You don't want to see like a wall of sellers above here, right? Got a wall of sellers at 39, 40. Break above 41 is probably pretty bullish. If you can't really squeeze this like you can a stock. The one problem I got with Bitcoin too is it's more easily traded. Like if you were trained how to trade stocks with patterns. And you still have sellers hiding out here at 42, 44. It's not a good look for Bitcoin. Like the distribution, like a wick off, it plays out better on Bitcoin than it does on equities. Equities have an issue. They have randomness, which you can't account for. I always feel like Bitcoin trades closer to classic trading patterns. I think it's people have to rely upon classic trading patterns. So it tends to, look at that. There you go. There you go, Quinn. Quinn, if you break through 38,000, brother. 35, baby. That'll come in an overnight panic. Like meat sweats and shit, like cocaine and meat sweats. Some Bitcoin maxi out there will be meat sweating it out. It'd be like coked out, dancing at a club or something all weekend. Come home on a Saturday, Sunday night. Eat a big steak, drink a big bottle of nasty California red wine, that gross stuff. Not that beautiful Spanish red or that gorgeous whites from Germany and Austria. You meet sweating it out, and then they'll find Bitcoin down at like $32,000. Google is stupid right now. 455 C's are up to $1.18. Is there really a Google split? Hells yes. Hells yes. Chase the cues. There's 4 more minutes left. 4 more minutes left to pick up calls in the cues, in the SPY. You should get a heavy, heavy ripper. Everyone is going to want Google calls. Everyone is going to want to pick up some Google shares. Guaranteed. Those are generational stocks that you can own, pass along to your kids and all that kind of stuff. Now seeing after the bell SPY calls coming in. Google. Woo! On a stock split, typically what you'll see is you'll see the next day a really quick sell-off, and then it'll just keep pumping. Typically how it goes. I've traded both Tesla and Apple stock splits recently. That's how it went. You had like a nice ripper into close. You print right off the bell the next day, and then there's a quick dip, and then it'll keep printing again. Typically, that's about my experience has been. So you're going to see bulls here loading up into the bell. Oh yeah, Google is going to all-time highs, 100%. It'll be traded through the roof. It'll hold the entire market up, guaranteed. It'll hold the entire market up. Google splitting is like Amazon splitting, basically. Massive, massive bullish reversal, dark pool on the SPY. Probably gap up tomorrow, candidate. Chance of it. Chance of an impact of Google. I mean, there could be a trade back. So like you get bulls that buy in right now after the bell on Qs and SPY. Market makers take the money away. It's possible. I know that when I was in, so it's weird, like Tesla and Apple splits, I was in 0 dates and a bunch of like monthlies that were expiring like 2 or 3 weeks after the ER release. And it was really wonky how they printed. If I had held my 0 dates printed stupid, and then my calls that were expiring 2 or 3 weeks later printed better, holding them longer, like not selling right on the bell on that next day. So if you're holding Google calls, if there's 0 dates, yeah, you just sell them and take the money. But if you've got them lasting longer, then if they don't expire like Wednesday, they should crank. Like the premium, just the premium kick will crank them. And, you know, Google splitting is very much like an Amazon split, right? The moment you see an Amazon split, the moment you see a Google split, anything like that, those are generational stock buying opportunities. They don't happen often. And so you want to keep, you want to buy that stock, right? You know, I know that everybody wants to buy that split. So you will more than likely see that stock go crazy. Let's look at Google right now. So yeah, you'll see Google go to 3,000, guaranteed. So it's just a matter of buying calls off the bell tomorrow. Literally, more than likely. You'll see Google at 3,000 before you know it. And if you're poor, just buy call spreads, because it's going to get run up. There ain't nothing anybody can do about it. There ain't no market maker that can do anything about it. You guys want to see Google real quick? Let's look at Google after hours. This is going to go crazy. I don't know if you guys have traded many stock splits. If you have, it's a really weird paradigm too, because you'll get scared into selling your calls. If they're farther dated out, don't fucking sell them. You just hold them. Or at least that's been my experience. Like the short dated stuff, sell them. But the long dated stuff, like that's they go through the roof. Like roof. Anything that was bought prior to ER, prior to ER, the interest kick is, or the premium kick is just stupid. Like stupid. So 29.67, right? 29.67. All-time highs is 30.37. So you probably see at least 3,000 buy open tomorrow. It wouldn't surprise me to see it trade even higher. I think all-time highs is easy on Google. You figure, what is that, 20-to-1 stock split? They're just going to run it up. They're going to run it up. That's what's going to happen. Yeah, if you're in Google specific calls, congratulations. Without a doubt, congratulations. You will see interest tomorrow in calls. Yeah, good job. All right. You guys have a wonderful day. Please like and subscribe. There's a tip button down below in the description. Help keep this stream going. Help keep supporting the channel. And I'll be back with you tomorrow morning. I haven't had anything happen today in the stream that leads me to believe that it's going to get dropped again. We'll check again tomorrow. If you don't see me at any point in the next couple days, it's because I have a storm coming through. I could possibly lose power this week. If I lose power and I don't lose internet, I can probably get back on in some capacity. I do have an inverter generator, but I do use it to run, like I use it to run a furnace, and I use it to run refrigeration, that kind of stuff, and just basic internet. So I don't know how much I can get on, but I do have a major storm coming through. I do have calls out there and puts out there, so I'm kind of scared on that front. Look at this. This is wild. Look at where it is. Yeah, please like and subscribe. I hope you guys made money today. We've got, I mean, just look right here. You've got 15,000 buyers to 3,000 sellers. Congratulations to Google Bulls. Hopefully we get a nice fat gap up tomorrow. Like, subscribe to videos. Please support the channel. Hope you guys made money today. Hope there's a great time to come on, right? We ended up trading it up. We took the viewpoint that we're going to trade up into the bell. We chose correctly and made some fat cash rather than standing around all day long and watching our inputs just burn. You guys all have a wonderful afternoon. Catch you on tomorrow in the morning. Hey, yeah, Joe. I'll give you a call today. Yeah, I have calls open on SPY. Of course I do. We're gonna gap up tomorrow. Yeah, the impact of Google. Well, in my view, we do. The impact of Google tomorrow is going to be far-reaching. You've got Amazon. Just here's another heads up to any of you guys out there, okay? If Google is splitting, right, I guarantee that Amazon will see that inflection, right? That we'll see that bump on just the chance. You will see people saying, "Oh, is Amazon gonna split?" You'll see people trade Amazon up just in case it splits. Guaranteed. Guaranteed you see the Qs gap tomorrow. Guarantee you see Amazon trade way higher. Way higher. Right? It's just like the Apple Tesla split. Doesn't matter if it happens or not, they're going to trade it up. Did you guys even think about the Amazon trade on the Google trade? Did anybody think about the implications on Amazon possibly trading higher? Yeah, Amazon's going to trade higher just based on that. You're going to have Google trading higher. You're going to have Amazon trading higher. There's no way this market falls with that. Trust me, if you're in Amazon calls, congratulations. You guys all have a wonderful evening, and I will check back in with you tomorrow at the open. I'm missing some of what you guys are saying here. This fucking Streamlabs sucks balls. Yeah, Amazon's a good sister trade. And Amazon should not stop trading. Amazon should continue to trade until their ER, based on just the off chance that they split. Damn. It's going to be a good couple days. Yeah, you know, it's well, they'll probably still print. AMD is mooning as well. Yeah, the stock split's going to be an Amazon. That's what everybody's going to talk about. I guarantee it. I guarantee you on Twitter tonight and tomorrow, all you're going to hear is Amazon will be splitting soon on their ER. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. I guarantee you heard it here first. You guys all have a wonderful night. Take it easy, Mero. Take it easy, brother. Joey, take it easy, my brother. Desperado, Andreas, Devin, Henry, Mary. Oh, really? Did Starbucks really eat shit? Are you shitting me? Did they already eat shit? Oh, Starbucks. What is wrong with you? Starbucks. Can't catch a break, Starbucks. Can't catch a break. Good night, son. Does this whack the bear view? No, we always go up and down. You guys got to know that we still go up and down. We still go up and down. So I would expect that we trade higher and then we trade lower, right? That typically happens. The Apple calls that I had, trying to remember when they cooled off. I'm going to have to look and see. I have to go back and look and see when Apple calls cooled off. But no, I'll still hold my puts, because if you're day trading the call side, right, and you're protecting yourself along the way, it doesn't matter. It's just a cost of doing business. You have to have a cost of doing business when you trade a market. If you are trading just puts or just calls, you are going to get burned. I promise. Promise. Promise, 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 promise. Okay? So when you come into areas where you think, or where there should be a rejection, it's not bad to be saying, I'm going to buy myself protection here. There's nothing wrong with that. I would trust you more than someone saying, I'm just long or I'm just short. Okay? So you take that and you put on dated puts in the money. You get more aggressive with them if we turn, and you trade the market that's to the right of you. If it's up, you keep buying yourself calls, keep making money, keep holding those SPY puts. You'll eventually pay for your SPY puts and then be printing green, right? You're printing profitably, and you've paid for your put protection. It feels better when you have protection on, trust me. Because if it goes the wrong way, those bad boys are going to print, and they're going to save your ass. Okay? So I'll talk to you guys soon. I'm going to sign off finally. You guys have a wonderful afternoon. PayPal's getting abused. I love it. I don't love it. PayPal shouldn't be getting abused. Man, it's getting murdered. It's like they just want to short certain tickers down. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Later.